Hi guys, it's James from IU Recreational Sports. I'm a NASM certified personal trainer, and today I'm going to be walking you through a banded exercise routine. All you're going to need for today's routine is an exercise band. Any thickness will do. If you get too thick, it's going to become impossible to do some of these movements, but we can make it work with just about anything, and that's because of how versatile the band is. So I'm using about 1.5 inch thick band, and how hard it is to do these movements is going to be based upon where I actually start with the band. So when I grab it closer, it's going to be a lot harder to pull apart than if I'm grabbing it further away. Likewise, at the end of the movements, when the band is most stretched out, it's going to be a lot more resistance than at the beginning when it's not stretched out hardly at all. Additionally, the band's really nice because of how versatile it is. If you have a pole, an upright column, or even a tree, you can tie the band around it and it can become kind of a pulley system. Some bad things about the band is that you never really know how much weight you are doing, so it's all kind of based off you and where you're starting at. Additionally, older bands are a lot easier to pull. They're less elasticy, and so they'll stretch easier than a newer band will, and they could break, but I've never seen it happen before. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get right into the routine. We're going to start with a posterior chain exercise for your lower body. So I mentioned that you can do anything that you would do on a cable machine or a functional trainer. So I'm going to go ahead and start out with a glute kickback, and I like to wrap it around my foot first so that it's all the way around and it's not going to come off as I'm doing the exercises. So for the glute kickback, I'll start right here. Back is straight, head is in line with my back, neutral position, and I just have it wrapped around my thumb on the ground. The band is on either side of my leg, and I'm just going to go. I'm going to kick back, and I'm going to try and pinch my glute at the top of this movement. And this is one of those movements that you see people do all the time without a band. This is just adding a little extra resistance. Sorry for that noise, I'm right by a road. And so if this is a little bit too hard or too much resistance, go ahead and just take the band off as you do it. If it's a bit too easy and you want to challenge yourself a little more, try raising the opposite hand. And what this is going to do is it's going to make it a little bit more, it's going to make it a little harder to balance as you do this movement. And you could feel yourself stumbling a little. And you want to make sure that you keep your back straight the entire time, even if your arm is raised. If you tried it and you didn't like it, go ahead and just put your hand back down and go right back into the movement. All right. So our second exercise is going to be a chest exercise, and we're just going to be doing a fly. It's another exercise that you see people doing on functional trainers a lot. And I just like to set up, I want to add a little bit of weight, so I'm moving my hands closer in when I start, then wrapping it around, and I'm going to extend my arms. So for the initial movement, I'm going to do it single leg, and I'm just going to fly in and back out. If the weight isn't enough, go ahead and just move your hands closer on the band, and then go right back into it. Half of the fun is getting tangled up as you do the exercises. If you find it's a little hard to balance as you do this, you can go ahead and put your foot down. And then if you actually want to increase the challenge for this exercise, go go ahead and keep your foot up and one arm out, and just start alternating as you do it. This is going to add a little bit more of a balance challenge, but it's also going to allow you to contract your chest a lot better than just coming in and sort of meeting in the center, because you're not overextending, but you're fully contracting the muscle each time now. Moving on, we're going to go ahead and do a back exercise. So I like to do rows with the band, and I like to do them bent. So I go ahead and sit on either side. It's very important to keep your back completely straight, chest up, and your neck in line with your spine. You just want to pull in and up towards your sides. Make sure that you're pinching those shoulder blades together at the top. And always breathe out as you're pulling in or moving the weight. If you don't really feel comfortable being bent like that, you can always do it seated. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm just going to sit. Again, you want your back completely straight. We're just going to move it back. If you felt a little too comfortable and you want to challenge yourself, we're going to go ahead and do it on one leg. One leg is going to be a theme of today's workout, and it's something I do with clients in the gym a lot whenever we're working out, because it increases the proprioceptive engagement. Basically, it makes it harder to balance as you do the movement. So go ahead and come up. Just the same thing. Always keeping your back straight and still pinching your shoulder blades behind you as you do it. With this one, you're going to find it hard not to lift your shoulders up as you do it. But you want to go ahead and keep them down the entire time. Alright. So we've done posterior chain, chest, back, and now we're going to go ahead and move on to shoulders. For the shoulders, we're going to be doing a front raise. So, band open, big circle. Go ahead and step into it. And I see people all the time with their palms facing down as they do this. I actually like to have mine up. It moves your shoulder into external rotation as you do this movement, as opposed to forcing you to kind of round them out. So I like to point my thumbs up. Go ahead and raise. Again, you're breathing out as you come up. And you're making sure that your scapula or your shoulder blades stay pinched back behind you. Now, with this, you're kind of moving the weight out in front of you a lot as you do it. If you're uncomfortable with this, you can go ahead and just lower down and put it under your knees. If you're wearing shorts like I am and you have hairy legs like I do, this can pull on it, so you want to make sure that you have the band really secure. You're just going to do the same thing. This is going to just make you slightly more stable. If you have a weak core, then this could become a little hard, because the core suddenly becomes the main stabilizer of this movement. Before, the legs were contributing a little bit, but now it's almost all right here and back here. If you want to move this up forward a little bit and make it a little bit harder to balance again, just go ahead and switch to one leg again. It'll be right here. keeping your form. Scapula is pulled back, back is straight, and you're breathing out as you go up. All right, moving on, we're going to go into an arms portion of this workout. These next two exercises are going to be kind of optional because you'll already have worked them out with the other exercises, but I like to throw them in because, you know, I like upper body exercises. So we're going to go ahead and we'll start out with a biceps curl. So right here, and if it's too easy, go ahead and just move your hands down. You'll have some slack in the center. Just curl up. Make sure your shoulders stay back as you go. And just like with the shoulder exercise, that front raise, if it's a little hard and you want to be a little bit more stable, go ahead and just do this on your knees with the band in between your legs. And again, this is going to make it a little bit harder on your core. If you're using free weights as you do this, you'll really feel how much harder it is to do on your core. And again, just like with the front raises, if you want to add a little bit more balance into this, you can just go right into it, put it under one foot, find where you want the weight to be, and just curl again. Alright, moving on, we'll do the back part of the arm now, the posterior part. We're going to go ahead and do a triceps exercise. So I'm going to get tangled all up in this band again, and I can already tell. I'm just going to raise it up, press, then I'm going to move my hands from the inside outside the band. There's probably an easier way to do that, but here we are. So, elbows back. You want to try and keep your elbows stable. Just raise above. And if you feel your back bending forward, then you're going to want to go ahead. You're going to regress this exercise to be a little bit more stable. And you can also do this one on your knees. But I like to make it more stable by just going ahead and isolating one arm. So I'll wrap it right here around myself. And then from right here, I can just do single arm tricep extension. Being really careful that the band doesn't come up too high. If you're trying to increase how hard it is to balance as you complete the movement, we'll go ahead and do the same thing as the first one. And let's try something. We'll just go up and over, and then we'll do single leg. Yeah. All right. And our final exercise today is going to be a squat. So whenever I do squats with the band, I like to go ahead and just put my feet in between it, and I like to actually wrap it around my neck. So you're kind of doing it like this. This is going to be a little bit weird. It's going to feel like a mix between a front squat because the band is pulling you forward, and a back squat because it's actually connecting behind your neck. So just like a normal squat, you want your feet as straight as possible. Knees aren't going too far over your toes. You're just going to go back and up. Back and up. And up. Trying to keep your chest up. Breathing out as you go up. this is a little bit too challenging or feels a little bit awkward, go ahead and take the band off and just do it without the band. It's still a great exercise either way. But if you want to change this one up and you want to make it a lot harder to do, go ahead and raise one arm up. You're just going to do the same squat, but now it's going to be a little bit harder because the band is stretched and it's pulling on one side of your body. So just go. Try not to lean forward as you do it. All right. And when you do that, it's nice to switch arms about halfway in between. I'm going to go ahead and just clip a page of the workout with the sets right here, and then I will walk you through one full set of all of them. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and get into the routine for the follow along portion. You can do this as a circuit, or you can slow it down and you can actually do each one as its own set. If you do that, I recommend you do each exercise 3 to 4 times, 8 to 12 repetitions for any actual muscle growth that you want. Or if you're just trying to work on some stability, go ahead and do 12 to 20 reps. As is, I'm going to choose that lucky middle number that was there, and I'm going to do 3 sets of 12 for a circuit-based routine that you can go ahead and follow along with, and I'll do the first full string of sets for the first circuit, and then you can go ahead and do it twice more after that if you want to. So I'm going to go ahead and start with that glute kickback that I showed you. I'm going to do 12 reps each leg, and then we're going to be going through the rest of the routine. So let's go ahead and get into it. So, grab your foot. Again, half the fun is getting tangled up in yourself. Opposite foot. If you have an exercise map, you would like to use it, this would be a great exercise to use it with. I can already feel the deck putting a few shapes into my knee. 10, 11, 12. Good. Go ahead and I'm going to move into 12 reps of the single leg chest fly. Starting a little bit further in for resistance. Switch legs. Just switching legs halfway through. All right, into the bent row. Remember, you can always do this seated or on one leg, depending on how comfortable you are. Always try to pinch your shoulder blades back. And wow, good. And into front raises. So I'll go ahead, do a lateral view. Shoulders back, thumbs up, right up. This one, make it a little bit easier, would be going on your knees. A little bit harder is going to single leg. And 12. Good. Now the optional exercises, doing some curls. I like to grab it a little bit lower. Stay here, lift up, move my hands out. Second optional arm exercise, right here, the extension, keeping the back straight. Don't know if I'm on 8 or 10 right now, so I'm just going to say I'm on 8. Go ahead, 10, 11, 12. Alright, last exercise is going to be the squat. Go ahead and give you a front view, an anterior view, just so you can watch my knees and my feet. I'm trying to keep both going straight. This is a little hard, remember, you don't need to use the band. Or if it's a little easy, go ahead and raise the band above you with one arm. 10, 11, and 12. Good. That's going to be the first set of repetitions for all of the exercises. Go ahead and take a 90-second break and then go ahead and go through it again if you're doing the circuit. And remember, if you want to slow it down, make it more of a strength-based routine. It's going to be 8 to 12 reps each exercise for 3 to 4 sets as you're going through. Alright guys, that's going to be it for today's routine. Remember, you can do it as more of a muscle growth routine where you are taking breaks after each exercise and doing it again for about 3 to 4 sets with 8 to 12 repetitions, or you can do it as more of a stabilization routine where you're doing it as 12 to 20 sets or 12 to 20 repetitions with another 3 to 4 sets on each one. For each of those, just go ahead and take about 45 seconds to a minute of rest after each set. I did it as a circuit, which for that I would recommend doing it as 3 to 4 sets, like full sets of every exercise with 12 reps of each and then a 90-second rest at the very end. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you have any questions, go ahead and go to the Rec Sports website and you can use the Ask a Trainer function. And if you want to see more videos, we upload them every Monday at noon. Stay healthy, IU.